alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alameen, that we are all able to, join this wonderful program today. The first of the presenters is our beloved Imam Abdul-Rahman Yaki. So Imam Yaki will be giving a presentation on building and sustaining an ideal Islamic home. Imam Yaki was born in Ghana. He graduated from the Say Islamic University in Niger, where he obtained a Bachelor's of Arts in Islamic degree. He has also studied at the Graduate School of Islamic and Social Sciences in Leesburg, Virginia, where he received a master's degree in Islamic law with a concentration in marital affairs in a joint program with Howard University. He is the Imam of the Islamic Center of the Capital District, and he is the Director of Islamic Research and Humanitarian Services Center. Imam Yaki has published in Islamic journals. He's authored several Islamic books, and he is very active in grassroots dawah and service work. And as always, whenever we call upon him, Imam Yaki is available for any and all NCNMO programs, and we greatly appreciate him. So I just want to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to Imam Yaki, and if you can please begin your presentation. I just ask that everybody please stay on mute. The way that this will work is once Imam Yaki has finished his presentation, we will be able to use the raising your hand function, writing in the chat box, and then also unmuting you to be able to ask questions. But for now, if you can just please stay on mute and enjoy the beautiful presentation. All right, Imam Yaki, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Maroofat, well done. May Allah continue to bless and protect you and protect us all.
Ameen, ameen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. وأصلي وأسلم على قائدي وقدوتي ومعلمي وحبيبي وقرة عيني محمد النبي الرسول. وارض اللهم عن الصحابة أجمعين والتابعين ومن دعا بدعوتهم واستنى بسنتهم إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجعلنا لجميع المسلمين هينين لينين سمحين حبيبين قريبين. واجعلنا مبشرين وميسرين ولا تجعلنا معسرين ومنفرين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم استرنا فوق الأرض واسترنا تحت الأرض واسترنا يوم العرض، يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. أحبتي في الله إني أحبكم في الله. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praises are due to Allah. May the peace and blessings be upon His Prophet. Our blessed audience, NCNMO, and its leadership, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of geography, time, and space, I greet you with the greetings of Islam, the greetings of peace and the dwellers of paradise. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. May peace, mercy, and the blessings of Allah be upon you. Rahmaka ya Allah, O Allah, increase us all in your mercy. As always, I begin with the attitude of gratitude, thanking Allah for His blessings that are innumerable. Allah said in Surah An-Nahl, verse 18, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَغَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Individually and collectively, if we should come together to enumerate, to count the blessings of Allah, we cannot compute them. Of course, that is vertical, the rights of Allah on us, thanking Him only as He deserved to be thanked and worshipped. Horizontal appreciation towards humanity, meaning appreciating one another, our rights towards us. Well, I'm really honored to be part of NCNMO, and I welcome the opportunity to share at this blessed moment on this noble platform for the year 2020 on the theme reorienting our hearts and minds. We actively direct our hearts and our minds towards positivity, we achieve nothing but positivities. Well, Professor Pacifico writes, by thinking better, we can feel better. So brothers and sisters in Islam, let's start by thinking better so that we can act better and feel, inshallah, better. Well, brothers and sisters here on our platform, NCNMO, and beyond, yes, I said on actually beyond, because ours is humanity regardless of our heterogeneity. However, NCNMO first. My topic today at this blessed moment, building and sustaining an ideal Islamic home. Brothers and sisters in Islam, ours is practice and not as accumulating facts. And that's it. We have a lot of sort of PhDs in Islamic law. But ours here is how can we implement, how can we change something so that we can bring good not only to me, but to my wife or husband and the kids. So that is the goal. Ours is practicality. And as some of you are familiar with my methodology and approach, 3, based on 3. 1, the first 3, perfection belongs to Allah, and you and I are imperfect. So perfection belongs to the Creator. Opposite is us. 2, appreciating scholarship and new ideas. We have to appreciate our scholarship within and then also the other. 3, sincerity of purpose. We will be blessed if we are honest and sincere in what we do. Well, based on 3, is based on fiqhul usul, main sources, fiqhul furu, secondary sources, and fiqhul waqi, factual findings, as mentioned in our book. Our approach has always been definition first. Let us understand first and foremost what is required of us. That will help facilitate the rest. Building and sustaining an ideal Islamic home. Brothers and sisters in Islam, wallahi, it is, we have elevated the mark, an ideal Islamic home. So first, what? Well, to build, we need at least 5 things. 1, we need materials in order to be able to build. 2, we need a plan in order to be able to achieve excellence. 3, we need labor. 4, we need budget. And 5, the will to execute that job. Now, you need all this, else there will be no building. You need again materials, you need again plan, you need again labor, you need again budget, and then you need the will to be able to at least have a structure. And all relationship likewise is true. Now let's look at the definition of to sustain. Well, is to provide what necessaries of life. Necessaries of life. What do we, those things that are must for us to get in order to be able to sustain that building, that relations. You must maintain your building with care. You must maintain your building with care. Else you lose it or it eventually deteriorates. If you have a building and there is no care to the building, what happens? We know what is happening back home. Sometimes my brothers, my sibling would call me, brother, send some money because we need to sort of maintain the house. Well, they're living in that house and they're asking me for money so that they would be able to maintain that house. And I know most of us do go through that. An ideal Islamic home, let's define it. A model, an exemplary one. Now, an ideal Islamic home is a model, an exemplary one that everybody is aiming to emulate. A positive one. A positive family, a positive building that most people are saying, I want to be like that. The building, brothers and sisters in Islam, or the family, it's not only strong, but there is a lot of trust and appreciation. Okay? An ideal Islamic home, there is trust. An ideal Islamic home, there is appreciation. These are part of the practicality that we're talking about. It's not about theory, no, practice. How can I be an exemplary home? Well, you need trust. How can I be an exemplary home? Then you need appreciation. Well, let me start with the latter. In an ideal Islamic home, there is only one God. Let me repeat. In an ideal Islamic home, there is only one God, meaning there are no gods in that home. Money is not God. Power is not God. Anything, including in-laws, in that house or in that home is mortal. But only Allah is eternal. Eternity only belongs to Allah. It's a matter of time, brothers and sisters, you would become history. What will your legacy be? You and I will leave a legacy. What will that legacy be? Constructive legacy or destructive legacy? while constructive legacy start with one God. Remember, وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ ثُمَّ تُوَفَّى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. The last ayah, according to majority of our scholars, the ayah revealed to the Prophet. Fear the day you shall be returned. It's not about you've been given the choice whether to go or not. You shall be returned. One of our Imams working with us was returned. He was planning to retire and go back to Sudan to enjoy his work. He was returned before he retired. You and I shall be returned one day, and each one of us shall be rewarded for what we have done. 2, in an ideal Islamic home, reasoning then action. Let me repeat. In an ideal Islamic home, think before you act. It's not about acting, then thinking. That is what, oh my God, what did I do? Well, the relationship has crumbled. The relationship is destroyed. How many times when I counsel couple, they are there and the man has divorced his wife and now saying, Imam, what can I do? Well, think before you act. I went to Adidas store, grabbed me some shoes or sandals, and I asked the lady to give me extra bag because I bought a lot of it. And she said to me, no, we don't have more bags. And I was not happy. I was not happy. I said to her, why are you so mean? When I used the word, she said to me, an elderly person, I respect you, but that word, Wallahi, I left the store and the word, you are mean, not only hurt me, but haunt me for days. Think an ideal Islamic home, think, then act. 3, in an ideal Islamic home, parents not only teach Islam, but practice it. It's not about, because it doesn't work when you are giving your children discipline and you not practicing. I remember this young lady, and I was counseling the entire family, and it was time for us to pray Maghrib. When Adhan was called, we went and prayed and came back. And when I asked the girl, where's your father? He said, my father is menstruating. A'udhu billah. What? He said, yeah, my father is menstruating. Because women do not pray, Imam, when they're menstruating, right? I said, yes. He said, that's my father. When Adhan is called, he's menstruating, he does not pray. A'udhu billah, a child telling his father like that. So please, an ideal Islamic home practice, then teach. Well, number 4, in an ideal Islamic home, all are equal but not identical. In an ideal Islamic home, all are equal. Allah created us equal, but we are not identical, because as a father, I have my responsibilities. As a mother, you have your responsibilities. Likewise, the children. We are equal, but not identical. 5. In an ideal Islamic home, parents are disciplinarians. It's just like the previous one. Parents are disciplined themselves and disciplinarians. They don't sit down and say, well, let the children do whatever they want. It is the land of freedom. And 21st century, children should do what they want. No. Self-discipline must be taught in the house, if that house would be Islamic or an ideal Islamic home. Number 6, in an ideal Islamic home, it is partnership. It is partnership. We are in together. Yes, it begins with you and your wife. Now, as children get older, you need sometimes to share with them, to sit down with them, prepare them to grow. So in an ideal Islamic home is partnership. Number 7, in an ideal Islamic home, the principle of care is implemented. And some of us having our book, we know what the principle of care is all about. Well, C, for communication, A, appreciation, R, respect, and E, equal partnership. Number 8, in an ideal Islamic home, there is a supportive unit, a supportive system, like NCNMO. We are not left alone in the house. No, we have a supportive system that will help us. We rely on Allah, then us having a supportive system. So, Allah, you are not wasting your money with NCNMO, because that is your supportive system. Number 9, in an ideal Islamic home, there is the acceptance of imperfection, but working toward perfection. Let me repeat. In an ideal Islamic home, there is the acceptance of imperfection. We are not perfect. We are human. We make mistakes. However, we do our best to perfect our lives. Number 10, in an ideal Islamic home, children learn discipline coupled with love. In an ideal Islamic home, children learn discipline coupled with love. It's not all the time koboko. Beating all the time. No, give them some love. Do you know why I disciplined you? Yeah, Dad. Yeah, Mom. They're going to say, well, it's because of this. Sometimes some of us do discipline children without even letting the children know why. Why is more important than the discipline? Why? So, in an ideal Islamic home, children learn discipline coupled with love. 11, in an ideal Islamic home, learning is a gradual process. Learning is a gradual process. You and I, some time ago, once upon a time, we were born. Once upon a time, there was a day we stepped our foot in the school. We hated it. Once upon a time, we push ourselves to work hard and harder. Well, history repeats itself. Today, we are parents, and we have to give that learning, the gradual process to our children. Likewise, change. 12. In an ideal Islamic home, hope, optimism is the norm. Hopelessness is not ours. No. When children make mistakes, yes, we perhaps will discipline them, but hope. When children are not following or doing what they're supposed to do, hope. When wife is not doing what she's supposed to do, hope. When the husband is not, hope. When the relationship is not working, hope. That is ours. قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا. Hope, ours, is hopefulness and not hopelessness. 13. In an ideal Islamic home, change is expected. Positive change celebrated and appreciated. Well, 30 years ago, I was a young man, got married to my wife. Today, after 30 years, there are a lot of changes. A lot of changes in our lives. Part of it, we have kids. Part of it, my wife would spend more time to the kids than myself. My wife, sometimes before I even start, she said, let me check your eyebrow and see whether those white, and making sure that they are placed well. Change is expected. And wife, don't leave when the change comes. Husband, don't leave when the change comes. How many times women will tell me, Imam, I'm leaving because he has erectile dysfunction now. He can no more have relations or sex with me. If he's a good man, help him. Likewise, she was involved in an accident. Why would you divorce her? Why? She's a good woman. Continue to protect her. Well, this is a part, and I hope, Sister Maroofat, I did not take half yet of my time. Now, let's look at how. How? Well, every son of Adam is a composite of three things: body, mind, and soul. And we need our physical nurturing, we need our psychological nurturing, and we need our spiritual nurturing. 3. We're talking about building. We need these 3 in order to put our building together. Our physical nurturing, our psychological nurturing, and our spiritual nurturing, at least. Frustration in one is frustration in all. If this are not there, we are no more talking about building an ideal Islamic home. Because this is who we are. We are body, we are mind, and we are soul. Now remember when Allah said to angels, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. I am placing a ruler on earth, or vicegerent, or whatever you call it, a ruler on earth. Well, the angels inquire, why? Why? Why do you need Adam and his children on earth. And Allah said, I am the knower. I have the knowledge. And I surely, well, if that is the truth, angel said, then okay, how will that happen? وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. This is in Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah 2, verse 31. And Allah taught Adam all the names. Allah taught Adam all the names. Remember, angels question why. And Allah said, I am the knower, and I am going to equip Adam with knowledge. Does that satisfy your question, angels? Well, the names, al-asma'a kullaha. What constitute all the names? Well, Allah has equipped Adam with faculty of the mind. Fill it with knowledge. Well, faculty of mind, or the mind. Fill it with knowledge, which is the real source of the excellence of man above the whole creation, or most of the creation. Knowledge. You need knowledge to get your physical nurturing. You need knowledge to get your psychological nurturing. You need knowledge to get your what? Your spiritual nurturing. Remember that. Knowledge is a prerequisite to whatever we would be mentioning. Knowledge. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. We are Khalifa today on earth. Without knowledge, there will be no Khilafah, period, or proper Khilafah. That is what Adam needs, not only to survive, but for his security. Not only to survive, but his security. Now, survival in his triple duties. Maroofat.
You're still good, Imam Yaki.
Am I good?
You're still good.
Okay, good.
15 minutes.
How many?
15.
Okay, beautiful. Survival in his triple duties. So remember, we need knowledge in our triple responsibilities. And that could be summed up. Those triple duties could be summed up in one word: al-amana, trust. Are you trustworthy? Are you trustworthy? Amana. Brothers and sisters, amana, do not abandon your trust. Do not abandon your trust. Allah said in Surah Al-Anfal, Surah 8, Ayah 27-28, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la takhunu Allah wal rasula wa takhunu amanatikum wa antum ta'lamun wa'lamu annama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna wa anna Allah indahu ajrun azim. O you who believe, betray not your trust in plural term. And remember, la takhunu Allah, do not betray Allah. Rasul, do not betray the Prophet. Wa takhunu amanatikum, and your trusts. And you know, remember, your wealth, your children are but trial. And if you do right, you shall be rewarded with right. All the triple duties are al-imara, al-khilafa, al-ibadah. That is why you and I are on this earth. One, al-imara. which is to cultivate and populate the earth. Okay? Our world is a place of work. It's not a place to sleep. Hello, especially when you are a man. Your duty, your responsibility is to make sure you lead in this effort. You don't sleep expecting your wife to go and work and come and take care of you. It doesn't work that way. Yes, you may do it together in order to protect the family. Remember that. So Al-Imara, our world is a place we are brought on this world for us to what? To cultivate the earth and to populate the earth. Number 2, Al-Khilafah. Our duty also is we need system. Therefore, leadership. We need those who would administer the earth. Our leaders, so that we have security, all of us. Can you imagine without security what and how our world will be? So Al-Khilafah is to bring us what? Security. Likewise, the previous one, Al-Imara, is to bring us security on individual level. Then it eventually goes to collective level. But Al-Khilafah is talking about our collectivity. Meaning, some of us would be leaders. And each one of us has something to contribute to the leadership. Each one of us. Then the last one is al-ibadah. That is act of worship. With good intention and sincerity, all that we have mentioned, al-imara, al-khilafah, al-ibadah, with good intention and sincerity, it all becomes what? Al-ibadah. Right now, NCNMO, yes, it is Islamic activity, but we have our leaders. Then we have those that are on the front line. Then we have all of us. If we are doing it sincerely, of course, we are rewarded as actually doing ibadah. Well, brothers and sisters in Islam, to build an ideal Islamic home, 1, we need halalic provision. 2, we need decent knowledge. 3, we need proper spirituality. These are the fundamentals. 1, halalic provision. 2, decent knowledge. And 3, proper spirituality. You know, you cannot kill one of them. All of them are in together. Because, remember, we are body, mind, and soul. Therefore, we need halalic provision. Our eating must be good. Our nurturing must be good. We must feed our kids halalically. What they see must be halal. And decent knowledge. Decent knowledge, because all knowledge is Islam. Don't listen to anybody telling you, don't do this. This is anti-Islam. This is not Islam. Wallahi, we need everybody, because all specialities are important. All speciality. Wallahi, without knowledge, how can NCNMO function? Without knowledge, how can we get money that we need to run affairs? All knowledge, I mean all knowledge is important. However, مَنْ يُرِدُ اللَّهُ بِهِ خَيْرًا يُفَكِّهُ فِي الدِّينِ. If Allah intends a blessing for a slave or servant, He gives him the knowledge of the deen. Other than that, هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون? Are they equal, those who know and those who do not know? So halalic provision, decent knowledge, proper spirituality. Well, sustaining an ideal Islamic home, being supplied with the necessaries of life, every creature either satisfies its physical needs or it dies. without food, how can we survive? No way. Maintaining an ideal Islamic home can be viewed as maintaining public good or public welfare. Masalih al-Mursala, which is divided into 3 categories according to our scholars. Please, whenever we are maintaining our homes, whenever we are building our homes, remember, there are ad-daruriyat, those things that are must to get. We cannot survive without them. Those are ad-daruriyat. Number 2, there is al-hajiyat, things that we desire or things that we wish, and things that contribute to the first one to be complete. The first one we must get. There is no way you can survive without food. And I remember that. But the second one will help facilitate the first one. The third is at-tahsiniyat, meaning betterment, improvement, or beautification. And when we have NCNMO platform, alhamdulillah, there are days we will beautify ourselves. Where's the best? Yes, it is part of us. Likewise, in your family, building your family, maintaining your family. Remember, you have to identify what are the daruriyat, the must get, the needs. And then 2, what are the at-tahsiniyat, those that will actually, sort of complete, you as a family. And there is al-hajiyat and at-tahsiniyat, what will make us sort of better. You have to define.
There's about 5 minutes.
Okay. To better maintain an ideal Islamic home, there are must things to have. Those things that increases trust. There are also encouraging things that increases appreciation. Brothers and sisters in Islam, in brief, building and sustaining an ideal home. 1, both couple care for the relationship. It's not about me. It's not about what I must get. No, it's about what we would get. Therefore, that requires compromises. So to build and sustain an Islamic home or an ideal Islamic home, both couple, because they are in together, care for the relationship. Give it, and you shall get. 2, there is no wealth but life. See, there are those who think that wealth, money is everything. No. Money is not everything. Yes, money will help bring happiness, but money is not the happiness. So remember that. There is no wealth but life. Find a way. Stop comparing yourself with others. That is our problem. The worrying is the problem. 3, the channel for positive communication is open. Because we are the talking animal, we have to communicate well. 4, both couple are exemplary parents. See, both couple are exemplary parents to their children. Well, my question is this. As the mother, Ackerman, Professor Ackerman wrote, as the mother mothers the child, so the father mothers the mother. My question to all of us is, who mothers the father? who, because if this statement, as the mother mothers the child, as the mother takes care, gives nurturing to the child, so the father must give mothering to the mother. Now the question is, who mothers? The father. I would like to stop here because Sister Maroofat said it is time. And inshallah, I know we have question time, and I wish you would answer this question for me. And Sister Maroofat, if they did not answer this question, help me answer it before we end this session. As the mother mothers the child, so the father mothers the mother. Now the question is, who mothers the father? أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan, Imam Yaki, for the beautiful presentation. I was trying to take notes very quickly of all of the different provisions that you were talking about in building and sustaining an ideal Islamic home. I will have to get some of that from you later on so I can share with everyone. But now it is time. I'm opening up with the question that Imam Yaki has left us with to think about. But then also, if you have other additional questions, if you can please use either the chat box to write your questions, or if you use the raise your hand feature, and then I can call on you and we can allow you to ask your questions directly. I'm going to ask, though, that because of time and to allow everyone to be able to ask questions, that you just limit it to one question per person, and you try to keep your question under a minute. So I'm just looking, Imam, if there...
Yeah, Sister Maroofat, before that.
Yes.
Actually, our leadership called me perhaps a few days ago and said, well, Imam, yes, we have an assignment for you, but there is another one. Are you able to execute this one that we just presented? And I said, well, I usually do not know how to say no to NCNMO. If that's what you believe, I will try to get off at work, and inshallah. So hopefully, the lecture will be, because I know I have given a lot of materials, but inshallah, we will, standardize it and let us all have it, inshallah.
Inshallah, Jazakumullahu khairan. We thoroughly appreciate your willingness every time NCNMO calls on you. You never say no. And you give beautiful presentations. So I am just opening it up. I don't want to be the first person to answer your question, but there is, so Brother Ismail, we can just unmute.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Brother Ismail.
So I have a question.
Okay.
When you were talking about the 3 stations of Imara, wa Khilafa, wa Ibada, can you please expatiate on the Himara aspect of it, which is the to populate the earth? So when there are couples, how do they come to agreement on how they want to go about it? Because there might be disagreement between how many do we want to have, or how many does God wants to give us. Just in case God gives them none for a long time, how do they cope with it? And how do they survive their love and respect within each other?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Thank you very much, brother. That is a very important question. Because we did mention 3 things, as you have said: Al-Imara, Al-Khilafa, and Al-Ibada. And all are trust or amana, and all are ibadah. Well, Al-Imara aspect of it, to populate the earth and to cultivate the earth, because 2 things: to populate the earth, Let's start with that. Allah created us, we have mentioned, equal, but we are not identical. Some of us, Allah will bless with one child. Some of us, Allah will bless with no children at all. Some Allah will bless with more children. Some Allah will bless children, but there will be no blessing. Let's remember that. So this aspect here, ours is continue to pray and leave it with Allah. For example, let's not forget in terms of al-imara, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. You need to see a doctor. You and your wife, you need to see a doctor and see what is wrong here. Are you the problem? Is she the problem? If you know the problem, sit down and negotiate. Sit down and compromise. Well, I have seen a lot of women who their husband is the problem, but they have preferred to live with the husband until they die. And they were happy with it. And no one will force her to leave that home. No one has the right to push her. Yes, sometimes her family will be pushing her, since he's the problem, get out and go get your own child. I have seen a lot of women leaving and face the same problem afterwards. But I'm not saying she should stay. But if she is living, please, this is why I'm asking the husband to respect her and be generous to her, because you are the problem. And also, if she is the problem, well, here again, appreciate and respect her. If she asks you to take a second wife, or if you come up with a solution, try to negotiate. Don't push too much. Both of you, our problem is when we begin to push and crush, then we crush the relationship. So that is number one, sit down, talk, and agree. Because of time, I've seen Maroofat telling me time, Imam. The second aspect is not only populating, but cultivating. Well, cultivating here, both are working. Both are working. But remember, you, the man Allah has given you the burden, the responsibility to take care of the family. So you are not to be sleeping and let your wife take care of everything. No, she is working to help you. But sister, wife, yes, you are there to help him, but you have to be generous, because it is by his permission that you are working. By his permission. This is easy. We need to sit down and compromise. Work, family comes first than anything else. Work, family comes first. Let's take care of us first, our home first. Here, I always will advise brothers and sisters, Islamically, I said Islamically, that your contribution should be more than her contribution toward taking care of the family. If you want your respect, if you want appreciation from her, if she's giving more than you or equal, that doesn't sound well. Islamically, you have to give more than her. So I hope, inshallah, Brother Ismail, I did answer because of time. May Allah continue to bless us. Ours is to do it together. Sit down and talk. The problem is we are not communicating well. The problem is individualism and self-centeredness. Me, I'm building a house, back home, and I don't want my wife to know. My wife is building a house back home, and she doesn't want me to know. This is a problem. We have to share. We have to let the other person know, regardless. Honesty. If we would protect our relationship. Allahu A'lam.
Jazakumullah khairan. There is a question that I received, and it says, so you mentioned, Imam Yaki, that if he is a good man, help him. But what if he's not? Then what? What does the Quran say about divorce?
فَإِمْسَاكٌ بِمَعْرُوفٍ أَوْ تَسْرِيحٌ بِإِحْسَانٍ. Either we leave humbly, respectfully, or we depart humbly and respectfully. If he is not a good man, then, hey, if you choose to leave him, well, do it right. It's not about I'm leaving, okay? If he's a good man, I said, this is very, very painful, that this man is so good. But one problem is his, actually not being able to conceive a woman. So here, do whatever you can to see what you can do. But if he is not, he is a man who is very ugly, then, you need to call the families and sit down and say, hey, the relationship is not working and I'm no more interested. Divorce, because of lack of time, divorce has foundations or principles or, some of the basic principles of divorce. Do it right. Sit down, bring families, and talk divorce. And then when she chose to leave, no one should force her at that particular moment. Wallahu a'lam.
Okay. So Brother Majid has a question for you, Imam Yaki. So Brother Majid, if you could unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, brother, we can hear you.
Alaikum. My name is Abdul Majid. I have a question that pertains to you said something about having problems in the family. So let's say a mother and a father, husband and wife, they have a conflict. Is it the child responsibility to kind of be in between it, or have knowledge of it? Because there's certain times where I feel like when parents are having conflicts, I feel like sometimes the child has no say, or maybe the child shouldn't be too concerned with it because, they weren't there in the first place. They weren't present with it. So that's my question.
Thank you very much, Brother Abdul Majid, with such a beautiful question. When parents are having trouble, having problems, you as a child, where do you stand? Well, the answer is simple. It depends on the age of the child. When the child is a teenager, it's not like when a person or a child is an adult with his own family. Here, unfortunately, because of our culture, sometimes some parents think their children will remain children and there would be immaturity with the children, although the children are 40 years old. That's wrong. That is wrong. However, here, when the child is an adult, the child needs to come to his parents with humility and respect and listen and say to dad, Dad, had you done this, it would have been better. Mom, had you done that, it would have been better. So, Mom, let me sort of represent you. I'm going to Dad and say, Dad, we are sorry. And remember, Mom and Dad have been together for so long. They know each other. You see, they know each other. So, as an adult child, listen and humbly respect their opinion and then share. Listen, humbly respect and share. Now, when you are a teenager or, that is when it becomes difficult because parents are looking at you. Who are you? You are a baby, and you are not a baby. But here, I know it happened to me here. I had a little problem with my wife, not knowing she already informed the children what had happened. So when we were sitting here discussing the matter, one of the children was paying attention to what was happening. So I called her and I said, well, Sumaya, could you come? She came and she said, Dad, I'm sorry, you are wrong here. I said, hey, look, Sumaya, come and sit down and listen to what happened. Please, parents, let's help our children grow. Bring them close and share with them. So when I brought them and narrated all that had happened, then Sumaya said, Mom, she looked at her mother and said, Mom, you are wrong. So please listen and humbly advise. If you are an adult child, but if you are a teenager, do it humbly and respectfully, calmly. You see, when you come to a person with respect, the person is willing to listen to you. But I know there are some parents, no, they will never listen because since you are a child, even if you are 100 years old, you are still a child. Well, we part company with such parents. And such parents, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, but to advise their friends, through their friends, maybe they may be able to listen, but try as much as possible and let your parents know that I'm now an adult and I'm part of you and I would like to share humbly. Don't forget, humbly, respectfully, your parents would be willing, majority of the parents would be willing to listen. Wallahu a'lam.
Jazakumullah khairan, Imam Yaki. So for those who may not know how to use the raise your hand feature, so if you look at where your name is and there is a button that says more, you can click on that button and it'll say raise your hand. If you need any help or if you would like to ask a question and you don't know how to raise your hand feature, if you can just message me and I can know that you want to ask a question. So Imam, Sister Aisha had a question and has been raising her hand. And then I have a few more questions in the chat that were sent to me directly. So I'll let Sister Aisha go first.
Sister Aisha.
I'm not sure where Sister Aisha went. Hold on one second, Imam. I'm going to ask. Okay, Sister Aisha, if you can please unmute yourself.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Sister Aisha.
Okay. So far, I really liked your presentation, but I have a quick question.
Okay.
It's about the three parts of proper spirituality that you mentioned. I would like you if you could please go over that one more time. I kind of got a little bit confused with the namings of it.
Which ones are those? Because I've mentioned a lot of 333. Which ones?
The one where you talked about the like beautification, betterment.
Oh, okay. I got you now. Well, here we are talking about the three categories
Yes.
of your nurturing. It may be ad-daruriyat. That is number one. Ad-daruriyat. Those are must thing to get because your life depends on them. Ad-daruriyat. Must things to have. And then the second is al-hajiyat. It's, it is something that getting it would be great. That is al-hajiyat, what we desire or what we wish to have. Al-hajiyat. And the third one is at-tahsiniyat. Those are the beautifications. That which would, you have more, you have food to eat. Okay, you have clothes to wear. Now you are being, you are choosing which food to eat. You are choosing which dress to wear. That is indeed the third one. At-tahsiniyat, things that are meant for beautification. So those three, you need to know in life, what are your ad-daruriyat, which must get, which the family must get, which is al-hajiyat, that will complete who you are, and then at-tahsiniyat, beautification. Always beautification is last, because if you are not full, there's no way you'll be thinking about how can I get Rolls Royce or sort of Land Cruisers and all that. So those are the three. I hope, Sister Aisha, I did answer your question.
Okay, so Imam, there are two questions that were in the chat that I believe are related. So one says, should the husband be responsible for 100% of the upkeep if the wife is also working? And this goes in line with another question someone asked, is if you can speak about, if both husband and wife are working, what should their contributions be towards the household?
Well,
what the Quran teach about their finances and responsibility?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah 2, Ayah 228, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ. The man, you are in the driver's seat, Islamically. The man, you are responsible for your family. Even in our secular for your wife to be sharing 50-50, it is not in your interest. I'm not quoting Islamic book so that somebody would say, well, what is he talking about? I'm quoting secular books. You, the man, must contribute more than your wife. If you, the man, can provide ad-daruriyat, as Sister Aisha asked, meaning must get of the family, meaning the needs of the family. If you, the husband, will provide that, then let her provide al-hajiyat or at-tahsiniyat. But those things that the family must get, as a husband, please be able to provide it. Then what will complete the relationship, then if your wife is hardworking and really making some money, let her take care of the hajiyat or tahsiniyat. That is what, actually, that is why I brought these 3 levels. There are must things to get. You take care of that, husband, and there are things that will complete the must things. Let your wife take care of it. Well, if the wife is saying no, Islamically, no, I'm not going to do it. But Islamically, you cannot work, meaning the wife, you cannot work without the permission of your husband, period. So it is not about one take all. It is not. You only can work with the permission of your husband. And since he has given you that permission, please contribute to the family. Please appreciate, celebrate, help. That is what family is all about. An ideal woman will be Aisha. An ideal woman would be Khadija. Khadija was helping the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is an ideal woman. Help your husband. Don't say, well, it is not on me. Then, well, he has the right to say, you know what? It doesn't, your working does not help the family. Stay home. If you say no, then based on that, divorce could occur, and you, the wife, should give back everything that he gave you, because you have chosen that path. Yours is materialism. Yours is money. Please help your family. Help your family. Women, help your family. Men, please go easy. Be merciful. Be kind to your wives. If we are able to do that, wallahi, we are safe. Work, let her work and help the family on those at-tahsiniyat and hajiyat, okay? But at-daruriyat, the must thing to get in the family, you, the husband, take care of that. Unless if she chose to say, husband, I will take care of part of ad-daruriyat. Oh my God. May Allah bless such a woman. If she says, I'm going to take care of the needs of the family or part of it, congratulations. We will pray for her, and your husband will pray for you, and your husband must appreciate, not the opposite. So I hope we understand this point. Wallahu alam.
Jazakumullah khairan. So we have about 14 minutes left. And so I'm going to go to Brother Fatai to ask his question. And then I will look at a couple of the questions that are in the box, Imam. And if there are any questions that we don't get to, what I'd like to do, Imam Yaki, is to send them to you by email. And if you provide a response that I can share with people.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So Brother Fatai, if you can please ask your question.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, thank you, Sheikh. We've been enjoying the lecture very, very well.
Thank you.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to increase your knowledge and let your children be more than your own knowledge, inshallah.
Ameen.
The question that I'm just about to ask, and I want to see what is the Islamic injunction in when you are having like for example, one woman happened to be not having a child, and the man that she's married to has no children before, and he would like to have children with another woman. But in the situation of, I don't know where you are, if you are in the US or maybe you are connecting with the earth in Nigeria, or whichever way, what would that be applicable in the situation of where we are in the US here now? What is the injunction of Islam?
Yes, Brother Fatah, may Allah continue to bless you and bless us all. I hear your question very well, and it's a beautiful question. And people ask me most of the time about this issue. And of course, I am in New York, in the US, where marriage is only one. There is no polygyny is not accepted in America. America has a system, one man, one wife. So in this situation, what will they do if they live in America? I will never advise them to actually break the law. I will never advise them, because part of my duty, part of my responsibility, I work in prison. And I don't want, because of that, for a person to go to jail. I don't. Because I know the consequences of that. However, if you live in Nigeria, if you live in any part of the world where polygyny is allowed, well, that is a solution there. It is a solution, meaning if you are able, that is not only, well, Islam says we can marry 2, 3, 4, but Allah said, if you know you cannot be honest, stick with one. Now, the issue is, if you have the ability to take second wife in Nigeria, congratulations. But you have to be able to respect your first wife. The problem is, suppose you are here and you want children. Well, we would advise, sometimes I advise either a person, for example, if you are originally from Nigeria, maybe go back to Nigeria. If that is what you want about children, either have Islamic child, I mean Islamic, okay? I don't want to go into details, Islamic child, or have an Islamic adoption. One of your sisters, one of your brothers, a member of your community whose children are actually suffering. Hey, not everybody would have a child. And sometimes a child adopted Islamically may help you more than your own child. So there are options there, but the option that says marry in America, although the law in America says marriage, one man, one woman, I will never advise you to do that, because it is very, very dangerous. Wallahu a'lam.
Jazakumullah khairan. So we have about 9 minutes left. So as I said, I'm going to go to Alaja Adegun to ask a question. I have another question that I'd like to ask Imam Yaki that came from the box. And then also, I want to just finish up with the question that you left us off with, because I did a response to that. And then inshallah, any of the other questions that anyone has, what I said I will do is email them to Imam Yaki to get a response. So if you still do have questions, only because of time, please feel free to message me directly and I will get them, inshallah, to Imam Yaki. So I'm going to ask Alaja Adegun if you can please unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Haja, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. We've been personally enjoying this lecture. May Allah continue to bless you.
Bless all of us.
We pray that Almighty Allah will spare your life so you live so long for all of us to enjoy each other for a very long time.
I mean, all of us, all of us.
My question is to follow up on the previous question that someone asked earlier regarding a child when seeing the parents. That's a question. What if the parents, especially the mother, is in an abusive relationship? If the father, beats up the mother, and does the child have the right to say, okay, you know what? I've listened, I've seen this, I've watched this. I'm tired of seeing my mom being abused. I want to move my mom, and I can afford to, move my mom and get a place for her and whatever, but I need my mom out. Does the child have the right to say, I want to save my mom's life. I want her out of this marriage and do whatever it takes to get the mom out of the marriage? Does the child have that right? Assalamu alaikum.
Haja Adegun, may Allah bless you, continue to protect you.
Thank you, sir. Amen.
You see this question?
Yes, sir.
It happened here at my Islamic center here. A child, not even one, children, 5 of them came together and told me that, Imam, we want our mother out of this relationship with their father. Here at Islamic Center of the Capital District, they came, 5 children, 3 boys, 2 girls. They came to me and said, they are fed up to see their mother crying, being abused, having bruises all over her body. They've been seeing it since they were children, and they want their mother. They've already rented an apartment. They want their mother in that apartment. Here. Well, there may be times when that is the only option. I said there may be times when that is the option. However, we have to try other avenues, other options, through his friends, through his imams. And then we did all that, it didn't work. Yes, the children have the right to protect their mother. Yes, if their father, what makes him happy is to beat his wife all the time, and the children have been seeing this since they were kids, and now they are older enough to understand, even some of them with their own wives, and they don't want to leave that life no more. Yes. So I supported this one. Because I know their story. I know it is not today, it has been there over and over. And the father is just an abusive man with some mental problems. So yes, I supported them, and the mother left the house to where they have rented for her. And the father came back crying to me that I should help bring the mother back. And I said, go and convince your wife, go and convince your children. He said they will never listen to him. I said, well, maybe that is what you deserve. Look, sometimes we have to be honest. When a person is behaving like a beast in the house, there is no way we should let that happen. So yes, Sister Adegun, Haja Adegun, yes, there may be time when we use all the resources to help that abusive man, and it didn't work. Yes, not only that. What about abusive woman? Again, I have seen it in my community. She would start slapping her husband publicly. What happened? Same thing. It was a daughter who said, look, my father, enough is enough. So they separated or they divorced because their only daughter said that is an abusive relations. Their mother is too abusive. So yes, there are times when that is the only option after we have tried all sources and it didn't work. Wallahu alam.
All right, Jazakumullah khairan, Imam Yaki. So because we have about 2 minutes and I'm trying to be conscious of time, I want to first remind everybody that the next program, inshallah, begins at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. That is Climbing from Rock Bottom, Not Losing Faith During Tribulations. But prior to that, I wanted to say to you, Imam Yaki, and I'm going to quote directly, that Brother Mashal wanted me to share that it's not just women who experience abusive marriages, that men also experience the same abuse, that it's not always just the women who are being abused by men. Sometimes men are being abused by women in their marriages. And then also I wanted to just go into leaving us with the question that you left us with, if we could end there. So some of the responses that I got, one person said that the mother, that the wife should mother the father, that you mentioned that a marriage is a partnership, and being a partner is helping each other to become better. So that, it should be wife then to mother the father. Someone else said that first, Almighty Allah is mother and father, and then the father, and then secondly, the wife who is mothered by the father should reciprocate to the mother and the father, as Allah is faring. Hold on, I just want to make sure I'm getting this correctly. So first is Allah who is providing for the couple, and that it is the mother who will, mother the father. And that the father should also reciprocate to the mother as well, that as they are, God-fearing, they should be able to do the right thing by each other. Another person said that, it is Allah who nurtures the father by inspiring him and energizing him to be self-dependent. So I want to leave there, Imam, and just ask if you can provide us with the answer to the question that you've asked us. And Jazakumullah khairan, everyone, for your questions. If anyone has any additional questions, if you can please put them in the chat box, but I will let Imam Yaki respond to that.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Absolutely, I think it is answered because we said as the mother mothers the child, so the father mothers the mother. And we ask, then who mothers the father? Of course, you've answered, it is the mother who mothers the father, because she is actually in the center, taking care of her children, taking care of her husband, taking care of everybody. And that is why, men, we have to do extra in taking care of our wives. Now, pertaining to what Brother Mashaz mentioned, I think had he had my last example, he will never have written me that when I mentioned that the woman was the abuser and her own daughter advised that they divorce. So, but what we're saying is that majority of the abuse, and every scholar will tell you in relationship, majority of the abuse is coming from the husbands, from the men. But it is changing now gradually. Women are being, the abusers. However, now, majority is actually the men. And Quran and Sunnah is speaking in most cases to the men. Most of the address of Quran and Sunnah is to the men, to the men. And women would have 30%. Why the women have more than that? So we pray and ask Allah to continue to guide us. Remember what I said. هذا ما كان من توفيق فمن الله وما كان من خطأ أو سهو أو زلل أو نسيان فمني ومن الشيطان والله ورسوله منه بريئان. What we have said, that is right, is from Allah. What is wrong is from me, is from Shaitan, and we ask Allah to forgive us. Perfection belongs to Allah. I am not perfect, And I never claim to be perfect. I'm a human. I make my mistakes regardless of what I read. Mistakes would happen. We pray and ask Allah to continue to bless us all, to protect us all. NCNMO, may Allah continue to bless us and bless our organization. And those on the front line, oh Allah, continue to protect them all. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. Oh Allah, bless us, bless our children and grandchildren. Oh Allah, bless our relationship. Maroofat, well done. Thank you very much. May Allah continue to bless you and all our audience. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan again, Imam Yaki. May Allah reward you for your acts of service. May He reward you with all that is good. And may Allah return your kindness. May He bless you abundantly with happiness. We, as always, are greatly appreciative for your beautiful presentations, your talks. We look forward to the next presentation that you give. If anyone has any additional questions, please write them in the chat box and I will send them to Imam Yaki. Imam, I will follow up with you to get the bullet points of how to raise a child in the home. I believe I'm missing one, but I would like to share it with everyone in case they weren't able to write them down as quickly. And then I just want to remind everyone that the next program starts at 12:45 p.m. Eastern time. So that's in about 10 minutes. If you can please sign on. And as you were paying attention and engaged with this presentation, I pray that you will be as engaged with the next program as well. Jazakumullahu khairan, everyone. This was beautiful. May the program continue to be a success.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب وقرآن مبين ربما يود الذين كفروا لو كانوا مسلمين ذرهم يأكلوا ويتمتعوا ويلههم الأمل فسوف يعلمون وما أهلكنا من قرية إلا ولها كتاب معلوم ما تسبق من أمة أجلها وما يستأخرون وقال